Why does Lance have a higher upside? What successful quarterbacks can you relate Lance to? Slow start, high peak. Josh Allen. So that would be why. Josh Allen. I mean, if you look at Purdy and you say, yeah, he's great, but can he go toe-to-toe with a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen in the Super Bowl? That's the question. And I think with Lance, you wonder, maybe if he were to reach his potential, maybe he could. But a lot of guys who have that kind of potential don't reach it, so you don't know.
He has a stronger arm.
He's bigger,
stronger, a better runner. With him, potentially, not now, and maybe never, but potentially it's a more diversified offense.
Potentially. Brock reminds me of a young Drew Brees. He's a lot more athletic than Drew Brees. The way he runs around is shocking to me.
Yeah. Also, I got to say, Drew Brees is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and we can't anoint this kid as a Hall of Fame quarterback yet.
No, but maybe next week if he plays. Matthew Sanders says, anyone who advocates to trade Trey should watch Nick Foles last night. Every quarterback, Brock included, gets figured out eventually. Only the best overcome, evolve. That is another thing to keep in mind. That one of the cool things about Brock is that they didn't play him right away. He got to come in at the end of the season, and teams are scrambling, trying to figure out a new game plan. And they may not figure it out in time. But eventually they will, and his greatness will depend on how he responds to that. Jimmy never really did. So we'll see.
That's a very good comment. I like this. Thank you.
Nicolo Credit says we made it to the Super Bowl NFC Championship with Jimmy. Postseason stats, 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 74 quarterback rating. This defense is better. The league ain't ready for Brock. Yeah, this team is definitely – I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what Brock does in the playoffs because Jimmy was way better in the regular season than the playoffs. Will that happen to Brock, or will he continue his play in the playoffs? If so, it's going to be tough to take that job from him. Calvin and Hobbs says, happy birthday to Brock Purdy, showing incredible poise for rookie quarterback. Today's his birthday, 23.
I remember 23. Oy.
Jeff Garcia equals Brock Purdy.
They're so different. And the thing is, I really respect Jeff Garcia, and I don't want to put him down.
No, but they were very different. Ray from
different.
Fresno says, Grant, you're the Vince McMahon of this Niners YouTube universe. The Rock and Brock connection are going bowling. This has been entertaining, and we should all enjoy the ride no matter the outcome. Thank you. It's definitely the most exciting or interesting season I've ever covered. Rod says, did you confirm who the Niners draft team scouted? Who on the Niners draft team scouted Brock Purdy and what made him almost undrafted quarterback? From what I understand, it was the area scout, whoever's in charge of that part of the nation. I'll find out his name. But the Niners were looking for a guy that would be available late in the draft. They were looking for the next Nick Mullins. Everyone thought he'd be going late because of his arm strength. He was there, and clearly he has blown away everyone, including the 49ers. Calba says, at Rod, Tolosa, the pro scout who stood on the table for Brock Purdy, was Steve Slowick. Oh, there you go. Steve Slowick.
You got to talk to Lynch.
I will. The Astro Channel says, how about a 3-quarterback system next year? Each game, a different quarterback between Lance, Brock, and Jimmy. That way they would be well-rested and never injured with a great quarterback play each game. No.
Absolutely not. It's a very interesting idea. I want Jimmy to be out. I have nothing against Jimmy. I admire him. You need to move on. You need to not move back. You need to move on. These are 2 gifted young men. Let them fight it out.
Dustin Dagg says it's clear Jimmy Garoppolo was holding the team back. It's clear the Niners coaches knew it. The question is, why would they allow this team to be mediocre? Well, they tried to get a replacement in Trey Lance, but I think the conundrum was that Lance, you needed to take a step back first to take steps forward with Lance, and there was no guarantee. With Purdy, now you get that same instant gratification, even on another level, and now it can be like, well, we don't need Jimmy anymore. This guy can do everything Jimmy can do, plus.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Jamie. Last
plus
one.
The team isn't mediocre anymore.
Not anymore. Pat O says Purdy, Lance, QB room on rookie contracts allow the Niners to potentially sign free agents like Ward, Al-Shaair, Mosley, and avoid paying a vet quarterback big money, as well as getting Bosa signed. Feel better, Lowell. I agree with that.
I love it. I thank you about that. I'm sorry I'm coughing, guys.
Jeremy Price, if Jimmy is somehow the starter in the Super Bowl and wins, what's your narrative? Oh, man.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Do we have to go there, Jeremy?
Do we have to go there?
You compared him to Joe Montana, so it's not crazy for me to say that the way he avoids tackles and extends the play, it reminds me of Patrick Mahomes.
I hope so.
Well, hey. As I like to
say.
Hey. Well, hey. Jeremy Price, unlike Jimmy, is pretty good, not a yes man, and goes with what's open rather than follow Kyle's game plan.
I don't know what's going on in the headset. I don't know.
I do seem to notice that Kittle's getting the ball a lot more now that Purdy's the quarterback than when Jimmy was, and I don't know why. Noop says, Brock gives me young Buster Posey vibes. Agree around Kyle. Pressure is on him big time, but Purdy may deliver enough to offset Kyle's shortcomings. Can I say what's different about Brock Purdy and Buster Posey? Brock is really interesting in press conferences. I like the way he answers questions.
Oh,
Posey,
yeah, and
Buster's
Buster Posey. I believe that Buster Posey is a very nice person, but I knew from sources at the Giants that he didn't like to deal with the media. Not that he was condescending to us. He didn't feel it would make him a better ball player, and I understand that. So he had about 4 or 5 answers, and after a while I realized I would never go into a group around him because it would be bullshit.
He's more like Nick Bosa. I mean, he was a top 5 pick in the MLB draft. He was a star forever. I mean, he wasn't like Mr. Irrelevant, you know.
But Bosa is more candid than Posey.
Everyone's more candid than Posey. What's the difference between Nick Mullins and Brock Purdy? When Mullins was a starter, Kittle set tight end record and was the number 1 that year and above Kelsey. Fair. Purdy's on a much better team than Mullins ever was. The confidence, the poise, the mobility, the decision-making, the game management. How about those? The accuracy. Steve says, Purdy is nice, but reasons for Lance is still there. D is variable year to year. Weapons variable year to year. So you need a Mahomes, Allen physical talent to make up variances. Hopefully Lance is one.
I agree. I do agree with that.